Hey guys, what's going on? It's Lance here, and today I'm going to be chatting with you about another variation or sect of your metabolism. So the key here is that your dieting history is directly correlated to your ability to lose fat today and the future. So I know that might sound controversial. I realize that a lot of people think that could not be true, but the reality is it is absolutely true. What I mean by this is that the longer history you have of crash dieting, of fad dieting, of reduction of calorie dieting, or even excessive cardio and working out in order to burn a lot of calories. Now, again, there are so many people I have worked with who told me that they did everything that they could to get their bodies back into shape, because what they told me was, Lance, the things that I did before, they worked 2, 3, 4 times, and then something happens. Maybe it's my age, but then I go back to do the same things and it stops working. Here's the deal. It's not your age. It is directly correlated with your dieting history. What do I mean by dieting history? Well, here's the thing. If you've watched my other videos, you know that the metabolism will adjust itself. Your metabolism is simply your ability to burn fat. That's it. There's nothing more to it. So it's a system, or we'll even say that there is a process in which case your body allows itself to burn fat or store fat for energy. And many of you guys, let me know if I'm wrong here, but many of you guys have probably heard of a phrase that is known as being in fat storage mode. Now, a lot of times people know about this phrasing, about this concept of fat storage mode, but nobody really knows how it happens, why it happens, and then the last part, what do they do to fix it? So here's the thing. I just chatted with somebody just a little bit ago who was kind of in that camp that was like, I know I'm in fat storage mode, but I have no clue. Nobody seems to know how to get me out of this fat storage mode. So coincidentally, of course, I had this written up for yesterday, wanting to do this particular video because this is something that we hear so often. So let me backtrack just a little bit and paint just a little bit of a picture for you. Every person, and again, this is review if you've watched some of my videos, every person has what's known as a total daily energy expenditure. This simply means this is how many calories each day your body requires to maintain its body weight or body fat. If we decrease the amount of calories that your body is taking in, less than what it needs to maintain its body weight, that creates what's known as an energy balance deficit or an energy deficit. This just simply means that we've created a deficit mathematically in your calories. What happens next? Well, if your body needs 2,200 calories this is not specific, for an example, if your body needs 2,200 calories to maintain its body weight, and I put you at 1,700 calories, we now have a 500 calorie deficit that you were not in. Now, we are also making sure that we're fueling your workouts, we're fueling your body, because there are so many trainers, coaches, and fitness gurus, we'll call them, that are so willing to put you guys on what I call the prison diet. The prison diet is basically 3 to 6 meals adding up to about 11 to 1,200 calories. It's awful, it sucks, and it crashes your metabolism faster. If you have fallen prey to the prison diet to some degree or another in the past, chances are you have experienced some level of metabolic damage or metabolic adaptation. Now, the key metabolic damage is really just a misnomer. It is damage because we've inflicted it and it's not working like it should, but it's not permanent. So here's the cool thing. When you diet and you cut calories, or you've dieted and cut calories, and that caused you to lose body fat, what happens is what caused your total energy expenditure to be 2,200, it now begins to adjust down to 1,700. If I keep you at 1,700 calories for a good month, month and a half, somewhere, it just depends for every person. And we start noticing that, hey, you're starting to lose body fat slower, even though you're eating the same things, you're working out the same way. Most people think that this is a plateau. Oh, my body is plateauing. Oh, this always happens. What do I do? And then somebody tells you, cut carbs, add this, work out harder. Garbage, all garbage. Here's the deal. You did not hit a plateau. What you hit was an obstacle in your mathematical equation. What that simply means is you were used to 2,200 calories for this equation, and we kept you at 1,700. Your body, after receiving only 1,700 calories for a certain period of time, determines that this is now where I should be keeping myself as homeostasis to maintain my body weight. So what happens is your body begins to adapt so it's not burning too much energy and wasting it. When we decrease calories, at some point or another, our bodies begin to perceive or connect the dots, or at least act as if there's a famine going on, meaning that we're not feeding it enough. When this happens, as a defense mechanism, our metabolism slows, starts storing fat for energy, because the body begins worrying, not literally, but worrying essentially, that there's not going to be enough food to maintain its body weight. Your body is always making decisions for you, not with your permission, but making decisions on your behalf in order to do one main thing: keep you healthy and maintain your body weight. That's your homeostasis or your catch weight, and it likes to stay there. That's what's comfortable. So if you'll notice, you start decreasing calories, you lose fat for a little bit, and then you go right back up. Your body has been trained for years to stay at that weight, and now you're asking it to remove the weight, and you're doing it by cutting too many calories most of the time. This is where we get metabolic adaptation. Now, metabolic adaptation is one area, well, let's say it this way, like I mentioned before, it is putting you in fat storing mode. Fat storing mode is there to protect you from starving, so it is a good thing, but you cannot be in fat storage mode and actually lose body fat. So many of you guys, you might be at 1,400 calories and you're not losing body fat. You can't really go much lower if you're already having sustainability issues at this level. So here's the big caveat, and I'm not going to go into all this because my metabolic training does this, but when you have gotten your calories this low, you need to do some variation of reverse dieting or some variation of metabolic correction. All this means is that we're going to systematically feed you more so that your metabolism realizes that it's not in a famine and that there's no reason for you to store body fat anymore. What we normally see is after we start increasing calories after a little bit, slowly, systematically, and you're working out and your macros are in order, so on and so forth, what happens is you start losing body fat. The cool thing is, you also start regaining hair. If you've had the hair loss thing because you've lost too much or because your calories are too low and you're wondering what's going on and you're stressed, these are usually symptoms from metabolism adaptation. So the key is here is that you're not stuck here, but you're not simply going to diet your way out of this position. If you are in this position where you have metabolic adaptation, it is fixable, but it is not fixable on its own. That's not to scare you. It's just to simply say that what got you to this position will not get you to the next one. It will not get you out of this. Your dieting habits and history caused your metabolic adaptation, caused your metabolism to be suppressed and slowed. What happens is, now, because your body perceives that it needs to store fat, fat cells will actually enlarge so that they can take up more fat from the energy and nutrients. But you also have these hormones like ghrelin that causes you, some people call it ghrelin, but it causes you to actually feel hungrier. So your metabolism literally is suppressed. So your body starts telling it, the other chemicals, well, we must not be getting enough food, so let's make him hungrier so that way he's foraging and finding more food because we're starving. Now, this is not literally what's happening. Your body's not starving, but it perceives it is. So here's the thing. If you're not losing body fat, cutting more calories when you're already too low is not the answer. You have metabolic issues. Now, here's the other thing. I've worked with some people that we fixed their metabolism in as short as 12 weeks. And then I've had other people that it took 7 to 9 months to fix the metabolism. It will not be the last time if you go back to cutting calories, which again, I cut calories whenever I'm getting leaner, But I also know that when I cut calories, my metabolism will slow slightly. Now, I don't crash diet, so I don't have a major metabolic adaptation like some get. But the lower I go in calories, the more I can anticipate my metabolism slowing down. The more often I diet, the more it'll slow down. The longer I diet, the more it'll slow down. The more I'm on chemicals, caffeine, all this stuff, it leads to what's called adrenal fatigue. That can also slow it down. So what are the solutions here? The solutions really come down to, first of all, understanding energy balance. There is no diet that is a magical solution that causes you to lose weight based on the foods that you're eating. What it is that you're losing weight or losing body fat based on the deficit of calories that you're not eating, and that's causing it, or the total amount of energy that you're burning. Meaning that if you need 2,000 calories a day to maintain your body weight, but you start burning an extra 400 calories from working out alone, as long as you're hitting those calories, will cause you to lose body fat, even if you did not adjust your macros or your calories. But if you're all over the place, like many people are, and you're not sure what you're eating, and your claim is, well, I'm pretty sure I'm eating well, like most other people who talk to me, then I'm going to tell you to track your food for 5 days on MyFitnessPal or My Macros Plus and prove it. Prove that what you think that you're taking in is actually what you're taking in. What you're going to be surprised with is that you're actually taking in either significantly less calories than what you thought you were, meaning that you're under eating and causing your metabolism to suppress, or you're overdoing it, you're overeating, and that's causing you to keep gaining on the weight. And what's happening is when you're cutting calories, you're crashing your metabolism with your calories, and then when you go back to normal, your calories go back, but your metabolism is still left here. So now you're eating 2,000 calories again, but your metabolism now, it used to be able to handle 2,000, but now it can only handle, let's say, 1,300 calories. So now what was a maintenance calorie for you is now a 700 calorie surplus. This is how people get in predicaments. This is how people get where they lost weight and they couldn't keep it off. The real solution, outside of reverse dieting and fixing the metabolism, the real solution is stay away from dieting. The real solution is understanding what causes fat loss, and it's not diets. Diets are based on the premise of reducing calories, but they're very short-sighted. You're trying to fix a very long-term problem with a very short-term solution, and it doesn't work. My question for you is, are you tired of that? Are you tired of guessing? Are you tired of having your metabolism slow down without knowing why and not knowing how to fix it? Are you tired of feeling deprived because you're eating so little and you've said goodbye to all carbs and sugars, and you feel like there's nothing left and there's no point, and that you're basically just crabby and miserable every time you get in shape? If you're tired of that, welcome. You're exactly where I was and where my clients have been before they started with us. If that's you and you're looking for food freedom, you're looking for fitness freedom, I would absolutely implore you to take a look at my metabolic course that I did. You can go to lancecronecoaching.com/metabolic, METABOLIC, and this will give you access to a program that was originally $300 and went on a special for $97, but right now it is 100% free. Why? Because everybody needs to know this. Everybody needs to know this, and I'm going to be honest with you. It's all part of my secret plan, because here's what I know. You're going to watch this on metabolism, you're going to learn, and light bulbs are going to click, and you're going to want to learn more. You're going to want to understand what my clients do so that you can realize that you don't have to live in bondage just to get fit. Guys, I have been fit for 22 years. Now, I've been out of shape at times, so on and so forth, life happens. But I've been doing this for, 23 years now. 23 years is not because of my discipline, it's not because of my willpower, it's because I've got a great flexible system that I understand, that fits my lifestyle, and I know what to do if I get out of alignment with that, without beating myself up. And if that's what you want, if you want that simplicity and that freedom, reach out, message me, or go to lancecronecoaching.com/metabolic and get access to that course so that you can learn. I call it a course, it's really a training, and it's about 40 minutes. You can turn it to speed too, so it'll actually go faster, but absorb this. I highly recommend that if you're going to watch that that you go through and take notes so that you can understand. And then what I would do is watch it again because it's going to help you to understand so much more in depth what is causing where you're at. So if you feel like this has helped you, if you feel like this is something that resonates, be sure to comment hashtag value in the bottom or hashtag resonates. Let me know. If you want to see the metabolic training, feel free to comment with I want to see the training or hashtag metabolic, and I'll send it to you. But feel free to go to lancecronecoaching.com/metabolic